as we near the end of this Ben's Marble Tournament season, there are going to start to be teams that are going to be mathematically eliminated from winning this tournament. Hey everybody, I'm Ben. This is Ben's Marble Tournament, Season 4, hosted by Neptune. As you can see, all the fans are here. This is the high jump. How it goes is all the marbles will jump over a bar at different heights with 3 stages. Stage 1 is 34 centimeters to 35.5 centimeters. Stage 2 is 36 to 37. And the third and final stage is until no one keeps going. As you see, we start things off with Neptune's Ripple, and they clear 34 centimeters. It goes to 35.5. They clear 34.5. What about 35? Ripple easily clears it. And now 35.5 clears it for Ripple. So they advance, and you see the angle up there for the side camera. It's kind of nice. Astro for Alien up now, and they pass 34. They clear 34.5 as well. They have 2 more jumps to go. That's 35. Can they make 35.5? Yes, they do. The jumps in the early stages, especially the first one, are the easiest. Midnight Spider Shadow. Off they go, and they start things off pretty strongly with 34. And 34.5, they clear. What about 35? Midnight Spider passes on that one, and 35.5. Shadow advances. We now move on to Mandarin for Orange Fireball. They start things out by clearing 34. What about 34.5? They do right there. What about 35? Can Mandarin clear it? No! Ooh, that was a hard bump. The first fail, look at that. They bounced on the bar, actually. Did they clear 35? No! Mandarin is already out. Oh my goodness. Now, unless other marbles get out, then Mandarin is definitely getting last. That is not a good way to start things off. So you see, Fruits of Chaos, Lemon is up now. They clear the first 3 jumps, 35. Now finally, 35.5. Lemon is through. The replay, really cool seeing it. Yellow Mango's Hayden, who last competed in the funnel endurance. They clear 34. 34.5 as well. What about 35? Hayden easily clears that one as well. And finally, 35.5. Hayden is by. Yellow Mango is one of 2 teams that has not won a medal yet. The other is Orange Fireball, who will not be getting a medal this time. So we move on to Talon from Dragonfly. And they clear 34.5. 35 as well. They need to make one last jump. No, they don't even make it. Look at that. They didn't even have the height. And they're not going to do any better. Dragonfly is also out. Jeez. And that looked a little bit... It looked like it hurt on the bar when they hit it. Truffle for Brownie up now as they clear 34 and 34.5. Now we move up to 35. Truffle clears that as well. Now, what about 35.5? Truffle advances for Brownie. They are sitting 4th place in the standings after a couple of medals. Crimson for Colorful Swarm, and run 9 of 16 for Stage 1, clears 34.5. What about 35? Crimson clears that. And what about the final jump? Crimson is by, and they will move on to Stage 2. Now we move on to Bigfoot for Yeti. Off they go, and that looked like a pretty good jump. 34 passes. Bigfoot, 34.5, also clears it. What about the next jump, which is 35? Bigfoot clears it. And they clear 35.5, so Bigfoot will move on. See if there's actually any more that are actually eliminated. Flash for Cautioner is up, and they clear 34. 34.5. Flash also gets by. What about 35? No, they fail on that one. But we'll see if Flash can get by in the second attempt. Yes, they do. I might not have mentioned this, but each marble gets 2 attempts. So that's how Flash advanced, and they're moving on to stage 2. Their second attempt might have saved them. Parrots Conure up now, who won silver in the long jump, so they should be pretty good at jumping. In fact, the top 3 from the long jump are here. They've made the first 3 jumps. Can Conure make the last one? 35.5? Yes, they do. Good jump there. Now move on to volley for tennis ball. They clear 34 centimeters. And now 34.5. They have 2 more jumps to go. 35 volley passes. 1 more jump. And they have some height to spare on that one. Look at that. Wow. Perhaps maybe save some of that energy up for later runs, but maybe that is what they're doing. Nominee for Oscar is up now. They cleared 34 and 34.5. What about 35? They do clear it. They have 1 more jump. And, oh no, it's the same mistake as Talon from Dragonfly. They didn't have the height. Can they make it on their second jump, though? Yes, they did. So, Nominee will at least advance. Now move on to Blizzard for Iceberg. We have 2 runs left in stage 1. And they clear 34. Now 34.5. Blizzard also does well on that one as well. And, I thought they didn't make it at first, but 35 for Blizzard. 35.5. Blizzard advances. Little height to spare. Not really sure. Now T-Rex for Dino, who is bronze in the long jump. And they clear 34 centimeters. 34.5. T-Rex clears as well. What about 35? No, they hit the bar, actually into the stands. I hope they're okay. T-Rex does clear it, though. 35. I really hope those fans are okay. Those are VIP seats, but I don't know. Would they be okay with that? But either way, T-Rex clears 35.5, as you can see. 2 teams were eliminated, but 11 didn't miss any. That is pretty impressive, but as we move on to stage 2, we'll probably see some more mistakes made. As we start things off once again with Ripple, and they clear 36, 36.5 as well. Now we move on to 37. Oh, they hit the bar, but can Ripple improve on their next run? Yes, they do. So Ripple moves on to stage 3. So they barely saved themselves. Now Astro for Alien. And they clear 36 centimeters. What about 36.5? Astro clears that as well. Now we move on, and 37, Alien has advanced. Barely making it over the bar in that last jump. Shadow for Midnight Spider. And they clear 36. 36.5 as well. 1 final jump. And Shadow moves on to stage 3. Now Lemon for Yellow Mango. They go up, and they are not able to clear 36. They fail on that one. Hit the bar from under, I think. But they do clear 36 on that one. So they move on to 36.5. How does Lemon do for that? Pretty good. 36.5. What about 37? No, they aren't able to make it on that one, but they have 1 more attempt. Hitting the bar into the fan stand. No. Lemon is done and not able to make it out of stage 2. That's not ideal. Now Hayden for Yellow Mango, and that was a really high jump. I wasn't able to see it. The marbles go by so quickly. But 36.5, Hayden also clears. 37, they aren't able to do the first time, but yet again, they do have a second attempt. And Hayden is able to do that well by clearing it. So they will advance. Now Truffle for Brownie. How do they do? 36, and they clear that one first. What about the next one? 36.5? Also yes. Oh no, 37. They were not able to clear that one. Hit it from under. Didn't really have the height. They do pass on 37, though. And so Truffle will advance. Now Crimson for Colorful Swarm. And they clear 36 centimeters. What about 36 and a half? Nope. But they do have another attempt. Will they use it well? Yes, they do. Ooh, a little hard to tell sometimes. The replays are good. You see, barely making it over. 37, they fail as well. Will they make it over on 37? Yes, they do. So Crimson is safe for now. Now, Bigfoot for Yeti. How did they do? And that was a really high jump. 36 they pass. Same with 36 and a half. What about 37? Does Bigfoot have that one? Yes, they do. With some height to spare, I might add as well. Now, Flash for Cautioner. They failed one of the jumps in stage 1. Will they make some same mistakes in here? Well, they do clear the first 2 jumps. What about the last one? And Flash is clear, so making no mistakes at all. Perhaps that was just a fluke. Now, Conure for Parrot, and they clear 36 centimeters. What about 36 and a half? Nope. Conure doesn't have it, but they do have the other attempt. Will they? How does Conure do? And nope, they don't get it. It looks like they actually pulled the bar down. What about Volley? And that was a very high trajectory and height. 36 and a half. Volley also clears. They don't do 37 though. What about for the next jump? And they do clear it. Oh, you see right there, briefly saw right there, it said fail. They actually passed. So, but right there, Nominee does not make the first jump. For 36, what about 36 again? And they do clear it their second attempt. So now we move on to 36 and a half, and Oscar advances. Now 37, Nominee advances. So they've had some struggles over this event, but they still have advanced. Now we move on to Blizzard. And 36, they easily clear first. Oh, but they don't clear 36 and a half. Look at that. Oh, they bounced on the bar, but they kind of rolled over it. I assume that does not feel good. Sort of like pole vault, but I'm not sure how these marbles would do that. They do clear 36 and a half, but not 37. Oh, yeah, pushing it. May have had the height, but not the trajectory. And Blizzard is not able to make it past 37, so they are out. The final runner for stage 2 is T-Rex, and they fail 36. What about the next jump for 36? And they do clear at that time. Move up to 36 and a half. How does T-Rex do? Easily clears it. But what about 37? Nope, not the first jump. How do they do on their second jump? T-Rex isn't able to clear it. So they are done. As we move on to stage 3, this is where it keeps going on. See the results? 4 teams were eliminated this time, and only 4 actually did not make a single mistake. That's pretty impressive. But now we move on to stage 3. That keeps going on, and Ripple is not able to do 37 and a half. We'll see how they do in the second attempt, and no! Ripple is done. So they are eliminated. Astro is up for Alien. They clear 37 and a half. Astro has been performing very well in this event. And Shadow fails that one. Went under the bar completely. Hit it, but didn't move it, and they're not able to do any better. So Shadow is done. They were also performing pretty well. Now Hayden for Yellow Mango. And they aren't able to do it the first time, but they can do their second attempt, and Hayden is able to make it. So now we move up to Truffle for Brownie, as they go up, and they clear 37 and a half. Now Crimson, and they also clear 37 and a half. Now we move on to Bigfoot. And they do it as well, 37.5. Now, flash for cautioner. They aren't able to do it the first time, but they do have another attempt. Will they use it well? Yes, they do. So, flash is good. Barely making it over. Now, volley for tennis ball. And they aren't able to make it on the first jump. But how will they do on their second one? Will they fail like others? Nope. Volley advances. Final runner for 37.5 is Nominee. Nearly going into the stands, but just barely not. But they fail on the bar and also on the second attempt. So Nominee is out. 3 teams have been eliminated, including our host. Astro clears 38. Wow. Not even failing their first attempt. Astro has been performing so well in this event. Alien is sitting 15th in the standings. Hayden for Yellow Mango, Pat clears 38 after failing their first attempt. What about Truffle? They clear 38 as well. This is becoming a good battle between several marbles. Crimson also clears 38. What about Bigfoot? Yes, they are as well. Wow. Now we move on to Flash. Will they clear 38 for their first attempt? No, they won't, but they do have more coming. And they are able to make it on 38. See, if everybody can make it out of 38, we'll see what Volley can do. They don't make 38 on their first attempt, but what about their second? No, they're not. So Volley is the only one that's eliminated. A little bit surprising, but we still have 6 teams to go. Alien for Astro fails for the first time, I think. But we'll see what they can do for their second attempt. No, Astro is done, but they still did an amazing job. Hayden for Yellow Mango, nope, isn't able to clear 38.5. But what about on their second attempt? No, Hayden isn't able to do it that time. So Yellow Mango is out. Truffle for Brownie goes up and they clear 38.5. What about Crimson? They do as well. Truffle and Crimson are going to be battling, but will Bigfoot join the fight? Not quite, but they still have another attempt. And can Bigfoot advance? No, they can't. Bigfoot is done. And for the final runner, for 38.5 is Flash for Cautioner. They don't make 38.5, but can they do it on their second jump? No, they put safety first, which is good, but they didn't do it well. Cautioner is out. Now for 39, we'll see how far this goes, as Truffle isn't able to make it on 39 for their first attempt. What about their second one? No, they are done. So for Crimson to win the gold medal, they'll have to get by 39. And they went under the bar. I think I saw it, briefly glancing it. Can Crimson make it on their second jump? No, they fail. So it's going to be a tie, but they're going to look at an in-depth analysis. And apparently Brownie had less misses, so Brownie wins the gold. And Colorful Swarm comes in second. And for the bronze, it's an in-depth analysis between Alien and Yeti, how they hit the bar in their second attempt. Ooh, that's very interesting. But they're going to give Alien the bronze since they hit it more on the side and Yeti hit it straight from under. So congratulations, Truffle, Crimson, and Astro are your medalists in the high jump. Truffle jumped the highest and lasted the longest. You can see the results. Mixed results for many of them. And you can see 39 centimeters was the highest. And this was really a fun event, but a very long one. Take a look at the standings. Parrot's still leading by 4 points over Dino, but nobody has been mathematically eliminated yet. But maybe we'll get someone in the next event. We'll have to find out. The next event, as a matter of fact, is the Half Pipe Clash. So long, everybody.